show, but let's get Mark up from Fish for Life, because we met this gentleman who runs Evolution, powered with a couple of the big 150 3-litre Mercury 4-strokes on the back. And at that time, you were about to embark on a charity run around Australia from Melbourne all the way around. Was it anti-clockwise?
Yeah, it's anti-clockwise, also including Tasmania, and that's where we went around first.
Yeah, and it's fitted out with the Mercury boat, the Evolution boat, the Mercury motors. You've been on the water a bit since I've seen you last, so can you give us a bit of an update and just tell us how these 150s are performing?
The 150s are performing fantastic. I've got not a bad word to say about them. The power, the other day we were cruising along at 25 to 27 knots, and one of the volunteers that was on board with us said, "Oh, can you give us a look at what this boat can actually do?" And I said, all right. So I pushed the throttles down to full, and it threw him back into the seat, and he said, "I cannot believe how powerful they are for 150s." Yep. And with them being a 3-litre motor, as we know, is a large motor, the power and the performance is fantastic. The other thing that was also commented on by one of the volunteers was the vessel view, how you can integrate it with the electronics, and we've got the Simrad electronics on board, and it's integrated with the Simrad electronics. And this gentleman who runs a charter boat out of King Island says that he was going home to order some because he was that pleased with them. We've had some fairly rough conditions and gone through some pretty intense times on the sea already, and we've only travelled probably 2,500 kilometres so far. But at no time have I felt any issues with these motors. They've just performed and purred along the whole time.
Well, let's rewind a little bit. Why the hell are you driving a boat around Australia in the first place?
Yeah, look, I hear this crazy. You're crazy all the time. It's a passion because I've lost some friends, some dear friends, and close friends to our family to cancer. So I wanted to do my share to try and help raise as much funds and awareness to try and help these people. So when I looked at it, I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought, the only hope I've got of doing anything is within the industry that I'm in. And being running charter boats and dealing with good companies that have come on board and sponsored us, being Mercury, Simrad, Evolution, I said, okay, well, that's the area I have to go in, because that's where we're going to get the people to help. So that's why I'm doing the journey. Since undertaking the journey, I know that it's only been done twice before. That was with Mercury's on board the whole time as well. So when you look at that, Mercury's got the runs on the board when it goes to going around Australia in a small craft. The only thing that we're hoping to get up our sleeve, as for Fish for Life, on top of helping everybody, is that nobody's done it in a single vessel, including Tasmania. So that's something that we'd like to do.
Now, you've already done the Tasmanian leg, and we all know that the weather, the further south you go, the weather can get pretty nasty. Tell us your nastiest weather story you've got so far, and possibly it may involve the Apple Isle.
Yes, it does. We went down the west coast of Tassie. We left from Smithton, and then we went down to Strawn. We had a beautiful day that day. And then when we left Strawn, we went through the Hell's Gates, they call them, out of Strawn. Fantastic place to see. As we were travelling down the west coast, we knew we had a front, that there was an opportunity this front might catch us, and we knew there was 50, 60 knots at least in this front. So we naturally took an educated risk, and we said we can beat this front and we can get down to Dover, and we can do it quite safely. So as we were travelling down, we had fantastic conditions with, you know, half a metre, and everything was running great. We seen a few tuna. There was a couple of tuna that were around 100 kilos in a school, and we didn't have the time to stop and have a fish for them as much as we wanted to.
That's a travesty.
Oh, it hurt. And as we're getting down to the bottom, turning into come around the bottom southwest side of Tasmania to head up to Dover, that front caught us. And when it caught us, it was about 8 o'clock at night. We had 20 miles left of a 160-mile journey, and it took us 2.5 hours to do 20 miles. We had 30 knots headwind. We also had the current was running the opposite direction to the headwind, and we had the wind blowing across all of it. We the only time we knew it was a big wave, because we don't have big spotlights on the boat, was you would just see only white water coming at you. And with only white water coming at you, you definitely know that you got a big breaking wave. So it was a matter of hang on, and we got over the top of it. We kept plugging along slowly. We got down to 6 to 7 knots a lot of the time. And then James, who's on board with me, called up a local crayfish guy on the VHF. He gave us some GPS marks to get in close in between some reefs, which was still scary. We had breaking water all around us, and we had a matter of being able to get over through these reefs in about 5 metres of water, and that got us out of it.
Well, and you know what? There is definitely nowhere to hide out there on the ocean, isn't it? How big is the boat that you're running in?
It's a 6.5 metre boat.
Yeah.
So it's not a big boat to be out on the ocean.
Now, give us some estimates. How many kilometres are you going to do by the time you've gone around Australia, and how long is it going to take you?
Okay, so we estimate between 16.5 thousand kilometres to around 18,000 kilometres, and we say about 148 days, and that's an approximate. That can be blown out, as we all know.
You betcha, and you never know when those fronts are going to catch you. Now, if people out there are watching on the internet, they want to know how they can donate to your cause, because let's face it, everybody knows someone who's been affected by cancer. Where can they go to help you out, to help them out?
If they hop on our website, which is fishforlife.org.au, there's a donate button there. They can donate via that. Otherwise, they can hop on our Facebook and they can send a private message, and one of our office girls will get to them and help them out.
Fantastic. Well, I know you're going to want to hang around here and maybe talk about some of those 3 litre 150 Mercuries. They're a great, reliable four-stroke. Thank you very much for doing what you're doing, and I hope to maybe catch you at another boat show in the future and get some more crazy stories about weather, 100-kilo tuna, and driving a boat around Australia.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve.